Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, and a very good pleasant Thursday morning class I bid to all my beloved students. So teacher would like you to drop your attendance in the meeting chat, in the chat box, so that teacher can detect your present Okay, so where am I? Teacher dekat dekat DK1. Okay, just to have you dapat apa ni lah tengok Okay, I'm here. Tengoklah nanti kalau everything macam okay, then we can you all boleh datang nanti kita buat kelas Okay, so I still can't see no one respond teacher at the meeting chat So Yila, Yila yang pertama, tahniah Yila. So yes, I can see already. Yila, Atira, Ni, Soleha, Suhaili, Akmal Adib, Ainur. Kali kamu di kelas Darshan, Gan, Abalung Barik, Alif. Siapa lagi? Jaslinda, Emil, Zila, Aina Suha, Idina, Natalia, Cikgu ada, Handy ada, Cikgu dah ada je nampak. Hidayah, Arisa, Siti Aisyah. Please kelas so we are going to for the time being class, because sometimes you all complaining telling me yang Google Meet pun keluar masuk. So I think kita try work out by using this StreamYard for this week. After this, next week teacher akan susun balik jadual kita. I mean we are looking at the situation. So kalau everything is okay, then maybe we can meet face to face, because next week if we refer to our teaching and learning schedule class for those yang teacher, I already share the teaching and learning schedule. So get ready class, this week you all akan diberi soalan soalan tugasan so you are going to get ready to prepare your soalan tugasan. Minggu ni minggu ke-7, hari Khamis, right kalau refer to our schedule, teaching and learning schedule, suppose we patutnya dah start cellular respiration but teacher bring forward nanti to next week, right? Nanti kita akan cuba cari masa ganti untuk replacement. So Ain Iklima, Alif, cikgu dah nampak, Baring ada, Siti Aisyah ada, Aina Naswa dah ada. Kelas thank you. So teacher nak you all drop in the meeting chat. Please write down what do you understand by our topic. But before that, let's recite the doa dulu by baca Al-Fatihah kelas Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, arrahmanirrahim, maliki yaumiddin, iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. So what are we going to discuss today? Like teacher mentioned just now, teacher would like to discuss with you the last topic of biocatalysis, which is inhibitor. Kata dasar dia inhibit kelas. So teacher nak in the meeting chat in the chat, please drop please write down your answer. What do you understand by inhibitor? Inhibit. What is the keyword atau what is all about yang kita nak belajar ini kelas? Cikgu nak you all tulis dalam meeting chat cikgu cikgu observing your answer selain pada tulis siapa yang hadir, so please you all drop in the meeting chat. What you understand by inhibitor? Okay kelas Liana hadir, okay kamu Dayanisa hadir. Tak cukup untuk hadir je. So now teacher nak you communicate with teacher. Okay. Tell me what you understand of topic inhibitor. Okay, please drop in the meeting chat there class. Okay, so Akmal Adib giving okay, Akmal inhibitor slow down or stop the apa ni? Stop enzyme control reaction. Okay, thank you Akmal Adib. Slow down atau stop. Slow down atau stop enzyme that control enzyme control reaction. Okay, that is by Akmal. Thank you Akmal. And then Yila, molecule that decrease the rate. Okay, Yila kalau jawapan Yila macam ni, okay, Yila kena berhati-hati because okay, kalau you refer to our okay, apa-apa pun go and refer to our notes okay, if you can see here, okay kelas okay, inhibitor ni adalah sebenarnya molecule of life lah ataupun apa-apa saja substance, right? Okay, like what apa Adib just mention, slow down or stop. Okay jadi you kata tadi decrease itu sebahagian je. Jadi Yila hanya jawab sebahagian daripada apa itu definition inhibitor Okay, tapi ingat remember apa ni Yila, okay, inhibitor bukan saja boleh decrease ataupun bila dia slow down memang dia akan decrease lah but actually it also can totally stop the reaction, right? Itu yang teacher nak you dapat an idea of it okay, it will totally stop the reaction Yila. Okay, so yes good apa ni ni okay, stop stop reaction and as well as tadi apa kelas apa tu slow down Okay, so basically kalau yesterday we have already cikgu dah already apa tu share dengan you kelas the two side the allosteric side and also the active side. Okay, so if you still remember when we learn dulu kita kamu masih ingat kalau your lesson about leg apron. Okay, leg apron kalau kamu ingat lagi bila you buat assignment, okay, you mention about the allosteric side okay, where the repressor protein will bind to the allosteric side. Okay, so sorry, allolactose allolactose bind to the to the repressor protein Okay, so Shen ke okay, Shen ada bagi thought Shen ni Darshan ke Shishan? Darshan right, okay, so yes, it's a competitive and non-competitive. So let's see how it works how these two types. Okay, thank you Shen. Right, okay, cikgu tutup dulu apa ni. So keep on communicating with me class in the chat so that you all apa tu teacher alert that you are actually focusing in our apa ni in our lesson Okay, so cikgu nak tunjuk animation ni lah kelas I want to show this animation to you. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay. Okay, this is one animation, right? Okay, as you all can see here, class, this animation shows, okay, the active side, okay, will complementary bind with the substrate and forming enzyme substrate complex, okay, and break down the substrate, the color, the yellow color, class, okay, the yellow color, the substrate will break down into its product, the P, Okay, what happen when there is a presence of I? I ni is inhibitor. Okay, which which kalau you tengok kat sini kelas Okay, what can you say about the shape of the inhibitor? Okay, so cikgu nak all drop in the meeting chat class Okay, so this animation shows competitive ke non-competitive? Shen. You nampak Shen tadi Okay, so this is showing the substrate and inhibitor compete for the same active site. Okay, for the same active site. Satu. Okay, satu lagi cikgu tunjuk lagi satu lagi animation. Okay, so what is about this one? What is about this animation? Okay, again in class Okay, earlier kalau tak ada inhibitor, substrate can be bind to the active site and break down. But when there is an inhibitor, okay, bind to the allosteric site, so it will what happened to the active site? Okay, the substrate no longer can bind to the active site. Okay, it will conformation change. Okay, inhibitor will cause change in the structure of active site. Okay, so from these two animation, it shows that apa kelas? Okay, that is what yang kamu nak learn ataupun knowing this substrate. Okay, so tadi Yila ada cakap, Yila ada cakap decrease the activity Okay, so actually kelas role itu role dia. Bukan dia punya definition Yila. So cikgu harap Yila nanti do not get confused, right? Okay. So peranan where ataupun how we use inhibitor in a certain condition. Okay, itu adalah dia punya role Sometimes we need this inhibitor to inhibit to stop or to slow down. Right? Okay. So effect ni ialah bila you slow down, of course dia akan decrease the activity of the enzyme. Okay, so it akan kalau you ingat balik-balik enzyme is the biocatalyst that speed up the chemical reaction by lowering the activation energy kelas Okay, so in this case maybe kamu nampak kenapa nak inhibit cikgu activity enzyme. Okay, why we want to stop it atau why we want to slow down the activity? Okay, so you tengok pada rule number 2 kelas. Okay, by blocking an enzyme activities, meaning by you slow down or stopping the activities of the enzyme, right? This will help us. Ini boleh bantu kita untuk sometimes kill the bacteria. So that is how it works. Kelas sebab tu kadang-kadang you all ambil drug semua tu kelas that is how it works siapa nanti jadi farmasis akan tahulah ni. Right? Okay. And then it's correct metabolic imbalance. Okay. So sebab itu nanti cikgu nak you all kelas tolong baca pernah dengar orang sakit gout? Tahu kan orang sakit gout ni ialah mereka yang menghidap penyakit kristal pembentukan kristal di sendi-sendi dia kelas uric acid crystal of uric acid so how the intake of drug ataupun yang yang kamu ambil orang drug orang penyakit gout tadi helping them so nanti kamu cuba buat pembacaan try to find out and then another thing teacher nak you all faham ini cikgu memang suka kalau apa-apa pun cikgu suka bawa kamu ke dalam dunia sebenar. Kelas So apa dunia sebenar cikgu nak kamu bawa? Dengan inhibitor ini kamu boleh buat duit kelas boleh jadi you can produce your own pesticide. Right? As you all know, pesticide ni kita guna untuk control the activity ataupun destroy all the haiwan perosak serangga perosak. So that is tadi Yila dah sebut competitive and non-competitive. So from the animation that teacher show just now, you all boleh bayangkan kelas competitive means they compete for the active site. They compete for the active site So cuba you tengok kelas the shape of inhibitor and substrate. They are almost look like lebih kurang cuma untuk substrate ini they have on the top here. So this inhibitor can be competitive inhibitor. Dia akan slow down and inhibit the process inhibit substrate to compete for the same active site. Jadi kalau cikgu tanya kelas jawab dalam chat what happened to the chemical reaction when there is a presence of inhibitor? Masa dia ambil panjang ke pendek? Kelas masa dia panjang ambil panjang ke pendek? Masa panjang ke pendek kelas kalau you guna ada the presence of competitive inhibitor? Masa yang ambil akan jadi lebih panjang. So nanti kita akan, from this concept, we are going to analyze two graph. Okay, kalau you all tengok our notes, okay, on page muka surat 64 kelas, there will be two graph that we are going to analyze, and these two graphs very popular. Okay, so this is another way of looking at class. Okay, ini adalah muka surat 63 nota kita. Okay, so please remember, okay, please memorize this enzyme. Memorize this inhibitor class, malonic acid. Okay, again teacher ulang, kalau dalam nota kita itu in our notes muka surat 62 kelas, okay, it mentioned there. Example of competitive inhibitor is malonate atau malonic acid. Tolong key in dalam your mind, simpan dalam minda kamu, okay kelas, malonate atau malonic acid. Okay, so how this malonate become a competitive inhibitor? So substrate dia adalah succinate. Ini akan berlaku dalam Krebs cycle kelas. Okay, kita akan belajar nanti chapter 5. Okay, during Krebs cycle, substrate ni adalah succinate kelas. Okay, succinate is the substrate. Right, okay, succinate akan succinate ini as a substrate. Okay, competitor dia adalah malonate. Sorry. Okay, succinate. This is the substrate class. Please remember. Okay, so the competitor is the competitive inhibitor. Competitive, that means this malonate. Okay, this malonate, okay, as a inhibitor, competitive inhibitor. So they are compete to the enzyme. Apa nama enzyme kelas? Enzyme ialah succinate dehydrogenase. Okay, ini nama enzyme. So both of these will compete the same active site of succinate dehydrogenase. Okay, so kalau you all nak slow down kan Krebs cycle, you all tambah malonate, so malonate akan reduce ataupun slow down ataupun stop the reaction of this succinate dehydrogenase to convert succinate. Okay, so contoh satu ini yang kita sebut tadi. Okay, so this is another diagram showing the mechanism. Okay, normal binding tak ada masalah kelas. Okay, the substrate will bind normally. But when there is a present a competitive inhibitor, tengok so they will prevent. Okay, the inhibitor will prevent the normal enzyme substrate complex to be formed. Alright, okay. So yang kedua kelas tadi kalau please drop in the meeting chat between competitive and non-competitive, mana yang akan totally tak ada reaction kelas? Between competitive and non-competitive, please respond to teacher kelas. Mana yang akan tak ada reaction langsung? Okay, competitive ke non-competitive? Kamu kelas cikgu nak you all respond. Yang tak ada Idina buat panjang okay. So antara non-competitive dengan competitive inhibitor, which one yang akan totally stop terus? Yang tak akan ada langsung reaction? The answer will be non-competitive. Okay, so when the non-competitive inhibitor binds to the allosteric site, okay, Aina Nasuha jawab mana? Non-competitive Aina kalau competitive masih lagi ada reaction. Because bila substrate tadi cannot bind, dia akan tunggu sampai inhibitor tadi keluar pada active site. Okay, tapi bila dah there is no more inhibitor, then substrate can be bind. So the reaction still occur. Tetapi untuk non-competitive, the reaction will totally stop. Kelas totally stop. So non-competitive tadi meaning dia tak compete ke active site. Okay, they will bind to the allosteric site. Tetapi apa tetapinya kelas? Okay, the mechanism will what happen? Okay, what happen? The active site will change its conformational shape. Jadi ini menyebabkan the substrate no longer can bind to the active site. Itu lagi teruk kelas Okay, non-competitive inhibitor. Jadi example ni kalau tadi malonate is the competitive. Now the non-competitive, tolong remember in our notes is mentioned there on page 63 is isoleucine. Okay, isoleucine ni ialah non-competitive inhibitor. What is the enzyme? Okay, enzyme dia akan compete dengan dengan substrate. Okay, and the enzyme that will involve is the theronine deaminase. Okay, theronine deaminase. Okay, when isoleucine bind to the allosteric site of theronine deaminase, okay, this enzyme tak boleh buat apa dah. Okay, tak apa, sorry dia kata sorry pada substrate, sorry aku tak boleh buat apa dah Okay, dia tak boleh convert the substrate theronine to become isoleucine. Right? So that is how it works Okay, ini tadi sudah tunjukkan, right? Okay, I already shared this diagram in our Telegram. So you all boleh tengok kelas So when the difference between non-competitive dengan competitive inhibitor. Okay, so kalau non-competitive, the reaction totally stop. But kalau competitive inhibitor, okay, the reaction will take longer time. Tapi masih lagi berlaku reaction. Right? So how to overcome class? How to overcome the competitive inhibitor? That means kamu nak increase the rate of reaction. Anyone? Okay, kelas cikgu nak you all drop in the meeting chat. Cikgu tak nampak jawapan kamu ni. Class, how to reduce the effect of competitive inhibitor? Okay, macam ni kamu nak reduce, tadi ingat tadi contoh malonate Okay, contoh malonate, right? Okay, malonate is the competitive inhibitor. So macam mana nak reduce ataupun nak increase the rate of reaction? Okay, kamu tambah malonate ke atau kamu tambah tadi kalau tengok kelas apa dia punya substrate just now, malonate. Okay, malonate is the inhibitor. So what is the substrate? Substrate ni adalah apa kelas tadi? Succinate Okay, alright. Yeah, cikgu, very good cikgu So you increase the substrate, the concentration of substrate. So kalau tadi kita guna example that given succinate. Jadi in order to increase the rate of reaction, we add more succinate. Okay, we add more succinate That means secara generalnya we increase concentration of substrate So bila concentration of substrate increase, ini apply kepada konsep like what teacher mentioned already yesterday. Okay, the concept of mechanism of action, mechanism of class? Mechanism action of enzyme with substrate. Okay, the collision. So bila kamu tambah substrate, kamu akan increase the collision of substrate with the active site compared to the collision of malonate with the active site. Okay, so very good cikgu, thank you. Okay, so jom kita analyze two graph. Okay, kelas before we can discuss the tutorial question. Okay, teacher would like you to to have a look for these two graph on page 64. Okay, analyze the graph. Okay, bila sebut analyze graph je kelas automatically the task word kelas this is the task word. Okay, task word dia adalah analyze the graph kelas So when you need to analyze the graph, okay, related to the competitive and non-competitive inhibitor just now, right? Automatically, this is quite a popular question. Okay, it's quite a popular question in PSPM. So you need to you must be able to know the curve. Okay, what is the curve shows right? Okay, jadi cikgu stopkan juga sekejap cikgu punya ni. Okay, kelas so please drop in the meeting chat what is y-axis. When we want to analyze the graph, sebut saja graph, you akan tahu kelas the graph will of course consist of part CY and part CX. So what is the y-axis class? Anyone class please? respond to teacher. What is the y-axis? When you plotting a graph, okay, you need to label the part CY and the x-axis. Am I right, class? Okay, so what is the y-axis labeling? Apa yang kamu kena label dekat y-axis? Okay, cikgu nak you all respond kat cikgu Okay, what you need, apa dia y-axis class? So, okay, because we are dealing with enzyme, okay, so the y-axis, okay, is the rate of reaction against the substrate concentration. Okay, substrate concentration. So in our syllabus, okay, in our syllabus there are two graph. Okay, class okay. Satu graph ialah kita nak analyze related to competitive inhibition competitive inhibitor dulu. Okay, so in order to reduce like tadi just now cikgu already mention to decrease the effect of inhibitor in competitive inhibition. Okay, senang saja kelas. How? Kalau tadi succinate dengan malonate is the inhibitor, succinate is the substrate. So in order to increase the the mechanism ataupun the reaction, kamu tambah apa kelas? Okay, you increase the substrate concentration Okay, you increase the substrate concentration. Okay, right. So why how the substrate when the substrate increase, right? Okay, like teacher mentioned earlier kalau you all masih ingat lagi konsep sorry class kalau you all masih ingat lagi konsep mechanism of enzyme action class on page 58 okay, and also page 59. Okay, how enzyme lowering the activation energy. Okay, so they have to collide. Okay, class muka 99 tu they have to collide Okay, when they have to collide, lagi banyak substrate collision lagi akan increase. Okay, greater chance the substrate to bind to the active site compared to the presence of inhibitor. Okay, so this will allow the rate of reaction, the maximum rate of reaction akan tercapai Okay, so that's why I believe you tengok analyze the first graph. Yang hijau ni ialah okay, the green color is without inhibitor and the red color is with competitive inhibitor. Right, so when you see when you analyze these two graph, okay, this group lah so you all tengok dekat sini, katalah kita labelkan substrate concentration ni kelas okay, substrate concentration kat sini kita label, let's say kat sini ialah 50. Okay, sorry kelas okay, let's say sini ialah 50 molecule of substrate. Okay, sini 100 molecule of substrate. Okay, so you all tengok kat sini cikgu padam juga garis ni. Sekejap ya. Where is the eraser? Okay, cikgu padam sekejap ni. Okay, kelas so eraser tak gerak pula. Okay, jadi you all tengok kat sini, back to the pen let's say what can you say class? Okay, dengan tanpa ada inhibitor, okay, the rate of reaction almost nak achieve maximum rate dah. Okay, so maximum rate kat sini kamu dapati kat sini kalau 70 substrate kat sini tak ada inhibitor, dah already achieve. Tetapi dengan amount yang sama, 70 substrate tapi ada inhibitor. Okay, so you can see class the rate cannot achieve okay at the same as the same as reaction without inhibitor. That is how you analyze the graph okay, so tengok pula kepada non-competitive. Okay, for non-competitive, sorry to say ke kelas slowly pada peringkat awal ada kelas okay, bila ada substrate pada peringkat awal, reaction still occur because we still have a few enzyme. Okay, we still have a few enzyme to break into product. Tetapi when the inhibitor already bind to the allosteric site of the active enzyme, semua dah terlibat. So what happen? Right, okay, the non-competitive kat sini you tengok right, okay, what happen kelas you baca kat situ. Okay, walaupun kita tambah atau increase the substrate concentration, okay, it will not reduce the effect. Kenapa? Sebab kat sini yang effect ni ialah the enzyme itself. Okay, enzyme tadi, the inhibitor already bind to the allosteric site. So it will change the conformation of the active site, menyebabkan okay, the maximum rate of reaction of inhibitor is less. Okay, with the present inhibitor Okay, so ini lebih kepada konsep divisible. Okay, kelas Okay. Okay, so teacher nak you all apply dalam kehidupan seharian ataupun kalau siapa pernah dengar orang kena hukum mati kelas Okay, so hukum mati, kalau kamu tengok kalau penjenayah contohnya penjenayah okay, how they end up kalau bunuh orang so hukuman dia kena hukuman mati menggunakan gas. Okay, jadi kalau kamu tengok hukum gantung okay, ada yang gunakan gas so teacher nak you all faham kelas how to macam mana nak buatkan orang tadi boleh mati kan. Okay, so actually this is teacher nak you all alert di kelas okay, so nerve gas, right, nerve gas. Satu lagi kamu kadang-kadang dengar kelas tidur dalam kereta and then suddenly dijumpai meninggal dunia kan. Kita ada dengar kes-kes sebelum ni so what is how that gas can lead to death kelas so because the carbon monoxide gas tu. Okay, the carbon monoxide gas itulah actually kelas act as a, kalau kamu tengok kat sini the keyword teacher nak kau faham kelas irreversible inhibition. Okay, sekadar untuk kamu apply dalam konsep hidup harian kita kelas okay, actually this process can be happen. Okay, contohnya cyanide. That's why kalau tengok kelas our fuel okay, kita kalau kamu tengok kebanyakan our government go to minyak tanpa plumbum okay, why? Because minyak tanpa plumbum ini contohnya mercury is a heavy metal ion okay, yang akan menyebabkan it will act as a inhibitor in our body. Okay, so dia tak boleh transport lagi elektron to the oksigen. Jadi ini menyebabkan elektron transport chain kita stop and tak boleh hasilkan lagi ATP. Alright, okay, so carbon monoxide gas, yes, rate of reaction. Okay, so done with that. Okay, I think we have already done with the theory, the concept. So now teacher nak move to discuss about tutorial question. Jom. Okay, so teacher nak go to tutorial question. Okay, so where is my okay, so let's do the past year's question dulu kelas this one. Okay, this is on our tutorial book. Okay, tutorial book kita page belakang sekali. Nampak cikgu kelas Okay, dah cuba jawab belum ni kelas? Dah cuba jawab belum soalan structure ni? Okay, this is you turn where teacher dapat soalan ni. Okay, lihat pada muka surat 67. Okay, kelas page 67. Page 67 Okay, page 67 is actually our biological assessment library BAL So teacher, now you open pada page BAL yang di bawah biocatalysis. That one also you label lah kelas. Okay, so BAL for biocatalysis, topic biocatalysis. Okay, so the first question given, right? Okay, properties of enzyme and the mechanism. Okay, so as you can see here, the question terus direct tanya about apa kelas? Inhibition. Okay, so inhibition. So this one, if you analyze the graph, you have to analyze the graph class, the y-axis. Okay, so the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. Okay, against the x-axis. Okay, so substrate concentration. So what do you think is P, Q, and R? Class, what do you think is P, Q, and R? Okay, kalau you all nak tahu how to differentiate these three curve, you all tengok pada dia punya ni kelas maximum achievement, maximum rate of maximum tadi. Okay, so you all label kat sini. Label, you ambil apa ni, pembaris sorry, cikgu ambil pembaris ni, cikgu lukis. So cikgu padam dulu ni. Okay, so you all lukis kat sini. Okay, so you all obviously you all akan nampak kelas right? You all akan you can apa tu detect. Okay, so this P kat sini P, ini Q, ini R. Jadi and then suddenly R ini tak achieve the maximum rate of reaction. Tak achieve kelas Jadi automatically baru je belajar tadi you all tahu, okay, P will be curve that show without inhibitor. Okay, without inhibition or without inhibitor. Kelas Okay, and then Q is competitive inhibitor. Okay, atau competitive inhibition, and R is non-competitive inhibition. Okay, kelas Okay, so this is like teacher what teacher mentioned. Where you have to apa tu? You need to understand the three ataupun able to analyze the graph Right? Mesti kita cikgu satu je graph. Yes, they put it in one graph. It also can be considered as to detect your understanding. Okay, briefly explain the enzyme activity for curve Q and R. Okay, anyone? Siapa nak jawab ni? Cuba kelas. Q tadi kita dah tahu is competitive. R is non-competitive. So let's try out. Okay, drop in the meeting chat kelas apa activity enzyme untuk competitive inhibitor? What can you say in phrase your sentence? Apa jawapan kamu katnya? Okay, kelas, apa jawapan yang kamu kena letak kat situ? Okay, as you can see kelas it contribute 2 marks. Okay, it contribute 2 marks Okay, 4 marks So it contribute 4 marks. So each curve, okay, each curve akan dapat 2 markah kelas So Q akan bagi 2 markah, R akan bagi 2 markah. So how you can get the 2 marks? Okay, let's start with Q dulu. Q just now you all tahu is a competitive inhibitor. Jadi as you all know, okay, how you explain? Okay, ni dia ada dua benda kelas Okay, ada substrate, ada inhibitor. Okay, talking about Q kelas Talking about Q, dia ada substrate and ada inhibitor. And then dia ada active site. Okay, dia ada active site So how you explain in words? So you sebut kelas inhibitor and substrate. Okay, inhibitor and substrate, they compete each other. Okay, inhibitor and substrate, they compete each other kelas So you tengok kat sini, they compete each other. Compete apa pada enzyme? This is enzyme. Okay, so they compete to the same active site kelas Kena ada ayat words the same active site. Okay, so competitive inhibitor and substrate compete for the same active site of enzyme. Jadi bila this occur, That's why kamu akan dapati grafnya tadi, okay, as you can see here kelas okay, ini adalah Q and ini adalah R. Okay, the R will be earlier they achieve. Okay, so R will be this one kelas R will be this one. Okay, so this Q, this is P ni P tadi kelas yang P. P is tak ada inhibitor Okay, itu untuk activity enzyme that you can explain untuk curve Q. Okay, untuk curve R pula, okay, as you all know, curve R ini ialah non-competitive inhibitor. So kalau kamu tengok kat sini, okay, non-competitive inhibitor and substrate bind to different site on the enzyme. Okay, jadi kalau kamu ingat lagi, if this is the enzyme, okay, lepas tu dia ada allosteric site kat sini. So substrate when there is a presence of non-competitive inhibitor, it will bind to the allosteric site. Okay, so when this non-competitive inhibitor bind to the allosteric site, what happen to the active site class? Okay, it will change the conformation of active site. Jadi menyebabkan substrate tak boleh bind to the enzyme, the active site of the enzyme, and this will cause the rate of reaction become decrease. Sebab tu kamu tengok the curve this one like this the curve. Mula tu ada mula tu ada reaction, nak sampai maximum rate tak mungkin tak mungkin Okay, so dia akan slow down langsung terus stop. Kat sini terus stop dah Okay, right. Okay, antara tiga ni, which curve show inhibition that could not recovered by addition of more substrate? Totally it is curve R. Kelas Okay, kita belajar konsep tadi. Okay, and then last but not least, kalau you all hari ni kamu makan apa? Kalau siapa dia makan cheese lah Okay, kalau ada beli ayam apa yang jual kat cafe A tu, cheese, sausage sausage with cheese kan? Okay, so bila kamu dah makan cheese, actually you are taking consume the lipid So when this lipid get into your stomach, your small intestine, okay, so how this briefly explain the consequences of eating orange. Right, okay, so that's why kalau you all nak makan buah lepas selesai habis Right, okay, bila you makan orange, what happen to the digestion? Okay, as you all know, lipase ini require an alkaline. Okay, alkali kelas okay. So orange will create acidic medium. So what happen? So lipase is not ataupun the activity of the enzyme lipase will slow down. Okay, to break down atau to hydrolyze the lipid Okay, so ada apa persoalan tak kelas untuk itu? Hello? Okay, teacher now you all apa-apa pun communicate with me in the meeting chat class So is there any question about this BAL? Okay, this is actually referring to the BAL class So what is BAL? Okay, BAL if refer to our tutorial book, okay, is referring to our biology assessment library. Okay, so this you can find under BAL. Okay. Okay, so next, teacher now you all turn to page 21 class. Turn to page 21 muka surat 21 soalan 5. Muka surat 21 soalan 5 Okay, so give the name of inhibitor 1. Come on class, give the name of inhibitor 1. Teacher, now you all drop in the meeting chat. I want someone to show the answer. Class page 21 please. Turn to page 21. H2P4, page 21, okay? Okay, question number 5. Okay, question number 5. What do you think is inhibitor 1? Okay, as you can see, class from the given question, figure 4. Right, okay. Exactly the same like what we discussed just now, from the BAL question, right? Okay, the learning outcomes, you need to analyze the graph. Okay, you need to analyze the graph related to the competitive and non-competitive inhibitor. Okay, so automatically kelas kamu nampak kat sini okay, inhibitor, dua-dua inhibitor. Inhibitor 1, inhibitor 2. Okay, so yes, Shishan, very good. Inhibitor 1 will be act as itu menjawab pada soalan A, iaitu competitive inhibitor. Bagi reason kelas, give the reason why. Why do you think inhibitor 1 tu with inhibitor 1 tu adalah competitive? What is the reason? Give reason for your answer. Because nampak kelas the reason is because the maximum rate of reaction still can be achieved. Right, okay. Kamu tengok when we add more substrate, okay, as you can see kelas the x-axis is actually, this is the substrate concentration. So when we add more substrate to the reaction, okay, didapati the chemical reaction able to achieve its maximum rate. Jadi it shows that this is competitive inhibitor. Okay, number 1 is the competitive inhibitor. Okay, what is the reason? Bagi reason class, because as you can analyze from the graph, okay, the maximum rate of reaction still can be achieved when there is a increase in substrate concentration, okay, but it take longer time to form the product. Okay, kelas so when the active site is occupied with inhibitor, okay, competitive inhibitor, so active site cannot do anything, because as you all know, okay, the concept of enzyme atau the properties of enzyme, okay, they are highly specific. Okay, jadi kalau dia if the enzyme digest succinate, okay, it cannot digest its inhibitor, which is malonate. Tak boleh kelas so that's why when you increase the concentration of substrate, you dapati the reaction akan still occur, okay, cuma dia take longer time to achieve the maximum rate. Okay, next soalan yang berikutnya. Okay, good session. Okay, cikgu nak tengok pelajar cikgu yang lain pula respon. Give one example of inhibitor 1 and inhibitor 2. Cikgu baru saja sebut tadi kelas. Okay, malonate. Kalau malonate is what kelas? Okay, malonate, Idina, Natalia ke, okay, Jaslinda, Emil ke, Barik. Okay, malonate is apa kelas? Malonate. Contoh malonate. Cuba bagi malonate ni untuk contoh inhibitor 1 ke inhibitor 2? Hello? H2P4. Okay, so basically you all rujuk balik pada nota tadi kelas. Malonate atau malonic acid is competitive inhibitor, whereas isoleucine is non-competitive inhibitor. Please remember di kelas, memorize this. Boleh tak? Okay, the question asks you to differentiate kelas. Soalan C, how to differentiate inhibitor 1 and inhibitor 2? Okay, obviously about the site. First kali, okay, the point of site kelas. Okay, so competitive inhibitor and substrate compete to for the same active site. Okay, cikgu nak emphasizekan kelas dalam exam mesti sebut sama, same ni mesti ada dalam ayat jawapan. I repeat, please take note all my dear student, when you answer your question during PSPM, okay, you have to put in the terms same. Okay, both the inhibitor 1, okay, compete same active site with the substrate. Okay, whereas inhibitor 2, they bind to different site of enzyme. Right, itu satu satu perbezaan ni kelas. Okay, this is the first differentiation. Okay, the second differentiation are inhibitor 1, it will reach the maximum rate of reaction. even though dia lambat, tapi it still reach the maximum rate. Whereas inhibitor 2, it cannot be reach the maximum rate of reaction ataupun you kata decrease, decrease the rate of reaction. Okay, so by 1 o'clock ni cikgu nak nanti next week bila cikgu kutip buku nota, buku tutorial, page 21 soalan 5 dah settle. You all dah dah able to fill up the answer, and also BAL. BAL just now for biocatalysis soalan 1 you already you already settled. So teacher nak you all pastikan tutorial kamu up to date kelas. So untuk BAL you can do in test pad ke, dalam buku nota ke, tapi bila cikgu minta je you all boleh, as long as you ada proof, ada bukti you dah buat, then it's okay for me. Right? Okay, last but not least before you go for your lunch kelas. Okay, soalan D. Soalan D belakang kelas. Last but not least, 4 marks. Okay, how to explain the function of active site of an enzyme and how it brings about a competitive inhibition. Okay, jadi teacher nak you all duduk renung sekejap. How to answer this question? Okay, so as you all, ini kena relatekan balik dengan konsep how enzyme lowering the activation energy. Okay, which is this one, you all kena lihat pada on page on page 58, 59 kelas. Page 58, page 59. Okay, so as you all see, the concept of active site, they act as a template. Template to hold the substrate and able to break the chemical bond of the substrate. Right, so you all kena ingat balik kelas the exactly complementary. Ini apply the mechanism lock and key, lock and key model, exactly complementary. Kalau induced fit tu apa tu? Kalau kamu masih ingat tentang induced fit, induced fit model yang kita dah belajar sebelum ini, it refer to apa kelas? Kalau induced fit, not exactly atau flexible. Tapi bila sebut exactly ni means this is the lock and key model kelas. Lock and key model. Okay? Right? So which combine with it. So ni lock and key model. Okay. So a competitive inhibitor which has similar shape. Kelas okay. Then it will bind to the active site. Jadi ini menyebabkan the active site can no longer preventing the substrate to bind to the active site itself. So E-S complex tak terbentuk. Enzyme substrate complex tak dapat terbentuk when there is a inhibitor. Okay, when there is an inhibitor, bila ada inhibitor, ESC tak dapat terbentuk. Tetapi how to reduce this this inhibitor? Okay, you all need to add more, tambah lagi more substrate. So collision between substrate dengan active site increase. So ini akan menyebabkan inhibitor tadi kurang untuk kacau the chemical reaction. Okay, because collision of substrate dengan active site of the enzyme increase. Right? Okay, so I think we have already done just nice. 12.55 we stop until here. Okay, so next week your job cikgu akan assign you all untuk prepare chapter 5. Okay, you are going to explain the process of cellular respiration and also the fermentation. So just get ready class. Okay, cikgu akan assign names. Okay, maybe by group or depends. Nanti kejap lagi cikgu akan tengok, go through. So next week we are going thoroughly discuss about chapter 5 so that nanti we can answer it very well. Chapter 5 ini nanti cikgu akan share JSU class. Jadual JPU, jadual penentu ujian. Okay, which topics yang contribute high weightage, okay, for your PSPM. Okay. Okay, So I think that's all for today. Thank you for listening, and make sure you all try to work out with all the question. Okay, especially tutorial question. So nanti teacher akan share the mark scheme. Okay, for you to refer and you can get the idea the what is all about you belajar. Okay. Okay, thank you class. Bye. See you. Okay, kita sudahkan dengan tasbih kifarah dan surah wal-as. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal-as innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa amin ya rabbal alamin. Okay, jumpa lagi kelas. Bye. Thank you.